Dan Lennis tech mentioned. Whew. What up, guys? We're going to be doing some dark web, internet looking, browsing, thinking, pee pee poo poo. Yeah, but how the fuck does Jonathan Davis make those noises? And that's funny. What's going on, brother? One of these days, I would like to set up my browser again to go through. I think I had I2P more through like I2P. I2P's EAP sites are kind of interesting because I mean, there objectively is less, but I2P's entire purpose was always, what's the word? It's always the purpose of not much, just hanging out. What's on the agenda today? We're gonna be looking through. We're gonna go through wormholes of Tor. See if we can find some like maybe dead websites, schizophrenic forum boards. But again, I2P would be kind of like interesting to do. Maybe I'll build it in the background. It's not really that hard. It's just kind of EAP sites are a little bit more difficult to find. I2P's entire history was mainly based on more or less torrenting, like peer-to-peer. Now, I will say the biggest problem Thought Sun Cicada 3301 was kind of random. I think the Cicada 331 is just 3301 is just a fucking meme. I don't think it's real. I don't think it's. I think it's just. I think it's. A part of me thinks this. Okay, this sounds kind of crazy. I think it was probably maybe 3 to 4 actual puzzles that people could solve, and then the last are just impossible. I mean, you can make an unsolvable puzzle. You can make a puzzle that has the illusion that it's solvable, and it's just not. There could be no. There's not a requirement of the answer. And that's what's kind of interesting. I remember I was really interested in it when I first saw it, and then I was like, all right, this is kind of retarded. Now that I think about it. It sounds cool in theory, but most of the time it's just people making... I mean, I think it just got a lot of publicity because it's interesting sounding. I don't even think it's still... Is it still going? But I will say that, so I'm living through and it was on 4chan. Yeah. I mean some good things probably came out of 4chan, some other things probably did not come good out of 4chan. I mean, QAnon bunker. I think it's still going on because it's still, well, yeah, I guess you could say that. But are people still do people still care? Allegations of illegal activity. Authorities from Los Angeles. Let's read the Wikipedia. Is it still relevant? Cicada is the name given to 3301 is of 8 puzzles posted under the name 3301 online between 2012 and 2014. The first puzzle started on January 4th of 2012 on 4chan. You guys should have been buying Bitcoin instead of reading 4chan. I'm just kidding. And ran for nearly a month. The second round of puzzles began 1 year later on January 4th, 2013, and the third round following the confirmation of a fresh clue posted on Twitter January 14. The third puzzle remains unsolved. The statement intent was recruit intelligent individuals by presenting. Yeah, this sounds like just some guy had a lot of time to write stuff on his hand, and he was like, let's see whose time. What if it was like, how much time can I waste of the people? And then just makes the third puzzle quite literally unsolvable. Intelligent individuals by presenting a series of puzzles to be solved. No new puzzles were published on January 2015. A clue was posted on Twitter of 2016. Cicada 3301 posted their last verified open PGP side message. I mean, anyone can figure out PGP in 5 minutes, really. It's not as complicated as everyone... There is a confusion part, but once you read how PGP works, anyone can figure out how to do it, which is kind of interesting. So this could just be some internet knowledge lord and just be like, you know what, I'm going to fuck with people on the internet. I'm going to fuck with people. Message denying the validity of any unsigned puzzle. The puzzle focused heavily on data security, cryptography, and steganography, and the internet anonymity. It has been called the most elaborate and mysterious puzzle of the internet age, and listed as one of the top 5 eeriest unsolved. It's not. If you think this is one of the top 5 eeriest unsolved mysteries of the internet, then you need to touch grass. There are way worse things I've seen on the internet and that are eerier, I guess. Eeriest is eerier? Is eerier a word? Never mind. The Washington Post, that makes sense. Those guys probably think the darknet is still used for drugs and they probably still think red rooms exist. Anytime you talk to someone about the darknet, and my skin is cringing at the idea of just saying that word, or the deep web, and they just immediately start going to red rooms, drugs. But wait, please, I want to hear what the eerie ones are. I mean, way back on the internet, I saw just live leaks. I mean, just go on Twitter. You can see the eeriest unsolved mysteries on Twitter, or just look at any live leak that exists, or like the people that I saw a lot of fucked up shit on the internet. This is like by far just like fucking retards that had too much time on their hand. Many have speculated that the puzzle is a recruitment tool for the NSA, CIA, and M16 and a Masonic conspiracy or cyber menacing group. Look, the NSA and CIA don't need to do a recruitment. They literally just need to. You just need to have an IQ above 105 and be able to read and write. That's really about it. You could be a complete retard and work for all three letter agencies. Others have stated CK3 is just alternate reality game, although no company or individual. Yeah, that's the issue. Is people immediately go that no people don't go to. The thing is, people immediately go to like some deep 3D level thinking, when in reality it could just be someone fucking around on the internet. I mean, if I made something like this, if I was smart enough to make something like this, I'd 100% make the third puzzle like unsolvable and just release it and just laugh about it for the rest of my life, like in secret. I would just never. Yeah. Hello, we are looking for highly intelligent individuals. To find them, we have devised a test. This message is hidden there is a message hidden in this message. Find it, and we will lead you to the road of finding us. We look forward to meeting yeah. This just sounds. Once you read this after the ages of like 16, or when you're frontal lobe develops, you realize that this is probably fake. Like the last one was probably just like a joke. The first one could have been legitimate, like see if anyone can do these like this simple like test. Like I've seen people solve like really, and you know how like good. I mean, there are really good hackers out there, and people that like just understand computers. There's very smart individuals on this planet. I think people don't give. I do say humans are retarded, but I don't think we give ourselves enough credit. I mean, there are people that have probably cracked into systems that, like, we don't. There's probably. I mean, there could be malware on my PC and I would never know about it. It could just be siphoning, and I would never know because someone just figured out how to make like unexploitable, unknown malware and just puts it in my fucking CPU and. I'm just forever compromised. That could be a possibility. Do I think about that? Not really. I'm just saying there's really smart people on the planet. Someone could have figured out this terrible fucking message. I mean, and it could be a number of things. Like, the first, like, say, like, it was like, hello, HIA, like, it's just a bunch of words that they're like, we look intelligent. There is a bussy at the end of this. I'm just saying on a fundamental level, a lot of this shit is. I just think it's. I think people give it too much credit. No offense to the people that made it, or offense. All taken. But, I mean, I digress. I think that, I went down a rabbit hole on how they solved the first one, and it was cool, but yeah, you're right. It could have been some guy with a lot of time on it. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I kind of take the stance that maybe the first two were like with intent. They're like, let's be funny, let's waste some people's time, and then the third one they're like, make it unsolved. Like the guy was like, I'm gonna make it not that it could be just a single person. The guy was like, I'm gonna make an unsolvable one and just make people think about this for the rest of their life. I mean, it could be a complete bait and switch. Do you guys remember? I don't know if anyone was aware of. This is going to be kind of a wild... so I'm going to put this into perspective. There was a song that people were shitting and farting over. It was Lost Media. So here's a perfect example. The Lost Media song everyone knows, and was just found in a porno. God damn you, Reddit! It was like a 3-year request. 3-year request identified the lost songs end with the 80s porn movie. There was apparently one. 3 years hunted identified a lost 80s song ended with one of the tens of thousands of people involved in the search to find an adult movie soundtrack. It was like a really, like, I think this like thing was like a 3 to 4 year, like, people like found this and they're like, everyone's got to figure this out. The clip became known as Everyone Knows That, also Ulterior Motives, based on the lyrics. They linked it to some producer guy, essentially. After spending an undetermined amount of time watching such productions, God, that must have been insane. Imagine watching porn just for the soundtrack and to figure it out. After spending a number of time of watching such productions, they eventually found the song. I went through each video until I found Angels of Passion, 1986. They reported I go to 107.31 and I found EKT. I think I remember this sort of. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, they quite literally, people heard a sound and they're like, where's this from? And no one could figure it out. And it was like, well, there was a viral, I'm using eBaum's World. Holy shit, this website's still around? Holy balls, man. I forgot about eBaum's World. I mean, you could make an entire series about just eBaum's World. And it still works with JavaScript disabled, guys. Look. The games probably don't play, though. Of course not. It sounds like you knew the song, but it was just the generic. It was. Yeah. Probably. But it was just that generic. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that I don't know nothing really about it. Beyond I was reading about it, I was like, but I'm just saying, like, if with enough time and people on the internet, they could figure out almost anything. The more eyes on something, the more, 3-digit room temperature, maybe IQ people put their brain power together. Shia LaBeouf was like in the middle. I mean, obviously this was before metadata was getting stripped from like photos at a mass level, but Shia LaBeouf got discovered where he was because of a flag and like the grass he fucking had on a picture. People say that like just put it on 4chan and they'll work together to find it. It's just really like a collection of people being like, oh, I live in this area. I know that. Oh, what's going on, Code? It's like, hey, I live in fucking like this area and only that grass grows in this area. Like geography is like very powerful. Knowing geography is very powerful. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and then there was I don't know if I think his name Rainbolt or something. He's like the fucking like autistic level of like that GeoGuessr game. Yeah, it's a sport. You could say that it's a sport, but like, I mean, if you're just aware of like your country and like you're like, oh, this, like if I see palm trees, I kind of know like that narrows it down. It's really understanding metadata and like very subtle clues. Like when we were playing the open source locator game, I started realizing what India looks like just by playing. I think it's one of those games, if you play enough, like you become like very good at it. That is a freaking cool editor. Now I know why you use it. It is pretty smooth. It's very based and Rust. God, I forgot about eBaum's World. eBaum's World was one of my favorite sites. This was based. The cool thing about Open GeoGuessr is open source and no account needed. we're gonna lower our security. I'm like, yeah, this is India, guys. Will it load? Will it work? TLS a handshake. I do not consent. Like, looking at this. Oh. You know what? This gives me South America vibes. I've played enough Call of Duty to know that this is South America. And I mean, like, I look for signs. I mean, obviously, say you have less of a view. Like, if you don't have a sign in the way, like, someone could be like, oh, these kind of signs are used in, like, this type of country, or that tree is only native to this country, or that type of housing. Oh, wait. We got some stuff up here. Like, being, I guess, like, aware of... Okay, DCAT, Uluma... what the fuck is this language? Somebody... We discover a dead body. Damn, what the fuck language is that? See, like, just doing that. Ooh. Cat Ulum. Oh, man. MGB. Oh, Thai? Huh. You know what? We're gonna see. You know what? You probably are right. No, Turkey. God damn it. Same thing. Number plate. Same place. No, it's Turkey. Istanbul. That did not look like Turkey. I don't know. Anything outside of America doesn't look... Anything outside America looks un-American to me, brother. Let's see. Okay, one more. Same shade of brown. Anything outside America is same shade of brown, brother. Like, them giving away the streets kind of interesting because, like, South Broadway Street. Oh, is this like what, California? Isn't that some California shit? This looks like California. There's a bunch of dead goddamn there trees right there. And where's all the white people? The fuck? Alright. Damn dare I think that I thought I had all the white people figured out. Alright, but we can go to... go to deep web .live, or is it dark deep web daily Live. Yeah. Darkweb.Davy.live. We can go to maybe new forums. Forums are always good. Pitch is pretty cool. Crypt BB. The fuck? Bulletin board. CryptDB focuses on security and anonymity by offering customized security measures to all its users in a secure environment, where users can discuss and trade total security, anonymity, and privacy. Huh. XMPP. Interesting. Let's see. Let's register. No off-topic conversations, no pedophilia, no spamming. You may be held responsible for the actions you invite. Blah blah blah. Big balls. I hate these image verifications. They kind of suck. Please answer the question. Default DNS port. I don't fucking know. Oh, okay. Maybe this will tell me. Tonight I have successfully. I'm running a QE event coming on Windows, just for fun, of course. Based 443. No. 12. What the fuck? How about you let me? Oh. Nice. That's awesome, though. Based, actually. Man, fuck you and your complex passwords. Let me do it, mouse. Let me do what I want. True freedom is letting me. Oh, big balls. Use Zed with LM support. I haven't tried. No, not LM support though. Big balls. 69420. Complex password. Can you? Let me just do this. FTP is 22, right? Or is it 21? I think F22 is secure. No, 22 is... That's SSH. I think it's 23. Nope, it's 21. Figured it out. Hell yeah, guys, we're on the hacker forum. Okay. Hacktown, cyber criminal universe. High pay for finding infiltrations and get target database. Email whatever the fuck this is. Next VCC to high quality CC checker. Bank drops. Fresh full size. Some fresh logs. Kingdom markets. Beginner hacker. Beginner hardware. This is like a worse version of... God, what is it? Breach forums? They all look the same. No on the buy. All on the sell. Dread, Ramble. Super Bay. Enchant is just... Enchant's funny. It's just a bunch of... Enchant is either gooners or schizophrenics. What's his website? It's CryptBB. I know that WSL is kind of offensive to FOSS and Linux. True. But I came to realize it's the easiest way to get GCC and G++, GDB on Windows integrated with VS Codium and Zed. Yeah, I mean, you're going to make sacrifices somewhere. Sconfig. Fresh logs. Yeah. For real. Oh my god, I could already tell this shit's crazy. Holy shit. CCS for sale. Yeah. Oh, a scam. If you want that, just crack it yourself. Not that I would ever tell anyone to go break the law, but... I'm not saying that there isn't probably like shit out there that people like sell that's cracked and it's legit and they just do it because they want to make a couple bucks. A blog for the lost. Sconfig, aka S, is the blogger. Phew, that was easy. Pack it up, boys. We're done here. Oh, wait, you want more? Wow, okay. Oh, this is amazing. The Sconfig domain. We're going to read that. News, Darknet Radio, how to run an Antichrist insurance on the Dark Knight. Anarchist insurance. Oh, it's dead. Dutch National Police, security, The Nihilist OPSEC blog is pretty good, and the OPSEC manual by them is pretty good. No Trace Project is cool. Rise Up just kind of sucks because you need an invite code, and somebody we were talking about the other day, the Darknet blog language is one of a kind, truly. This is the email provider that Richard Stallman pretty much said use. I will say that living like Richard Stallman is a nightmare so far. I can't go to pretty much 80% of the websites that I use because they use some form of JavaScript. I will be doing a video about it, and if anyone wants to go on that nightmare blunt rotation path, absolutely know that it's not fun. I feel like Richard Stallman permanently lives inside email, which is kind of funny. Darknet Mail Exchange. Featherwall based, Blockchain Explorer, Monero based tools. CryptoStorm has been around forever now. They're probably okay to use. CubesOS based, Simply Translate. Pirate Bay, can't say that word, now I'm scared. They're going to... Now they're gonna shut my website and my YouTube channel down. Are you doing the Stallman Experience IRL? Yeah. So I paid the Stallman Experience is, first off, I have to pay with everything with cash. So, by the way, not always the most convenient. I can't blog, even though I got my laptop back, because Ghostblog requires JavaScript for me to log in. So that's a fucking nightmare. So I'm writing down all the things that I'm going to blog about in a week. I am not going to pay for an email provider to test this out, because the ones he pretty much said to use, like, if you look at it, their email recommendations are crazy. He actually doesn't use Tor for some weird reason because of their licensing. So I will give a preview and a simple understanding. The biggest difference between the open source community and the Free Software Foundation is purely semantics and philosophy. They are very extreme on their semantics and very extreme on their philosophy. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. It's just they literally won't certify certain stuff if it's even slightly adjacent to how they do their licensing. I mean, because CubesOS has some proprietary blobs in their hardware, the software they do, because they put security above all else. I do, and I gotta learn. What does he know? Spanish, or is it Spanglish or Esperanto? He knows something. And because they stand on business, it's very difficult for a lot of projects to get approved. So Tutanota, which is the email provider I use, is in the process. They said they're going to eventually get it where that you can load their emails without JavaScript or use Libre JS. Libre.js pretty much it's a complicated long read, but there's something called the JavaScript trap, and a lot of websites could function without JavaScript, to be completely honest. People have done it. People have made functional logins secure with it. So I do think that a lot of stuff is like over-engineered because people just want everything to look super pretty. So there's, I mean, that's in my opinion, like part of the problem. And JavaScript is, people say like, I mean, people are like, oh, it's not, that's not JavaScript just being used for evil. It's not a JavaScript problem. But guess what? The majority of the use of JavaScript is, it's to do some form of analytics and tracking. It's never used for the intentions of just building nice stuff. It has its purpose has been hijacked, and it is kind of problematic. This is why a lot of websites on Tor tell you to disable JavaScript. There is a Monero thing called Door Trader. It's like a trading platform. This is just to prove a point. This, if you were to turn off JavaScript, they have a way to redirect you to the non-JavaScript option. So, V8 Engine is the problem. Is this true? Nice. I mean, the problem with Reddit is Reddit requires even JavaScript. It's very difficult to actually use it without it, unless you get a way to get a front end that doesn't support it. Twitter used to allow you to actually to like go onto Reddit with no JavaScript. It was possible. Now it's becoming impossible, and they say that it's for security reasons. I don't know if that's really true. Like, I'm not a web developer, so I'm not aware of the limitations of HTML, CSS, minus the JavaScript framework. Well, JavaScript in general, and that is just like my perspective. If it is possible to make websites without JavaScript, or at least JavaScript that that respects your freedom, then that would be the better option. It's just not the better option right now. It's not the better option right now because we live in a society where, again, people want to over-engineer stuff and make them super sexy and fly at you. I don't think most people, like average user, really gives a shit. They just use I go back to, we use the same 4 apps method anyways: Instagram, TikTok. Everything's video format. I'm pretty sure you could just make everything like super basic and log in and just work, and people will be like, yay, kind of thing. But that's just how I look at it. I just would like to. I wonder if there's any like ways that they could build a lot of modern apps without this. But while you guys think about that, I'm gonna go grab beer. Just sit with your thoughts for a moment. I think. Okay, I'm back. Why did it happen? A bot fucked up, basically. That's funny. Guys, was it IPv6 or was it a bot? Or was it DNS? See, if you just run your own DNS thing, and I think people are starting to, I don't know, it happens once in a while. Funniest Cloudflare crash was in 2019 because of a line of bad regex overflowing the servers worldwide by catastrophic backtracking. What kind of beer? Some IPA. It's actually the best IPA. It's called Budweiser. Warm Guinness, I bet. God, no. I know you're supposed to drink Guinness warm, but fuck that. I tried it. It's not good. Ooh. Just thinking about it gives me the ickies. Yeah. The Irish fucked up on that one. Too much foam too. And I don't want to wait for my beer. No cap. I will say that the biggest problem is Cloudflare's. We're way too dependent on them. Only moonshine. I don't like liquor. Liquor makes me not a good person. I never really have a good time on it. How much of the much beans and weed, brother? Sure. It's a good combination. I love beans and sometimes I like weed. How much of the internet runs on Cloudflare? Probably like something stupid. I sort of miss smoking weed. Once I'll smoke it again and I'll just 20% of all websites on the internet use Cloudflare for its web security services 2025. That is crazy. 20% of all websites use it. That's a lot. And this is probably this is just small. And 20% of it, that's probably the biggest. Let me tell you all the pirate streaming sites that run on Cloudflare. Could not watch the new episode of Smiling Friends. I have no idea what that show is, but interesting. I started smoking weed. Once I'll smoke it again. Just smoking too. Yeah, sometimes you gotta step back. I can't really, honestly. Smoking every day just makes me. It's just not fun. I don't like doing something like that every day. I don't even like drinking every day. I like beer, but every day is just kind of crazy. It's too boring. Let's look for some other tools. Whonix. Let's see where this goes. Sconfig, aka the S is a blogger. Phew, that was easy. Blah blah blah. Are you lost? The sitemap section is available to assist navigation with also privacy notice if you create from one. I like simple privacy notices. You would love Smiling Friends, I bet? I might. Hello, Twitter X friends. Are you on the naughty list? With the merging of an advertisement such as Nam, it comes to little surprise when Firefox decides to add a feature in an update to automatically collect data on users who decide to install Firefox as a member of getting away from the hells of Google's ecosphere. They added this feature little to no fanfare to seeking to release update, hope no one notice. Well, Pepperidge Farm remembers, and half of the Fediverse knows what you did there, decide blah blah blah. Now, if you open on Firefox to ensure the homepage is pointing at a respectable search engine, I mean, this has been like something they've been doing for a long time. Firefox is kind of always like, how does it make money? I mean, it uses Google. Spelling Fridge is literally a dark web. Every episode is 10 minutes of chaotic ADH paradise. Oh, I'll check it out. Good news, LibreWolf on the front. It doesn't even exist. It should even know LibreWolf is actually our daily driver as the team behind this heavily secured conscious. Twitter X. We continue to use called Twitter in the first foremost, despite rich billionaires saying otherwise. No. Now, the problem with this platform is something a little different. As something that many companies tech industry are doing with a full introduction of artificial intelligence. Actually, I have a more of a problem with its an animation. Oh, that's awesome. I actually have a problem with my biggest problem with Twitter is not only it's the fact that it's becoming a super hell. And its own form of hell. The biggest problem with Twitter is this is from Elon Musk himself. He wants it to be the all-in-one app, like WeChat. Why would Jack Dorsey sell it to Elon? Because he was forced. I think he was forced to. Elon Musk made a bid to it. I mean, I would prefer Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey's kind of a douchebag, but he's like more for the I think it's because this is my broad opinion. I don't really care for any of them because I don't personally know them. So, I don't care. I mean, you could say on a deep personal level, I do not care. I'm too employed for that. But if it starts affecting how, if websites start affecting how people view the world, and it starts bleeding into how people, I'll give a perfect example. Elon is trying to get laid on Twitter for real, probably. I once made fun of a Tesla, and I saw someone crash out on me. I made fun of a Tesla, and I made fun of them for vendor locking their software and catching, like they had some quality issues, and I just made fun of it. I think you should be able to just make fun of anything, but the guy crashed out. He's like, just starts crashing out, and I'm like, dude, chill. Elon's not gonna come give you a free Tesla or suck your dick. Who cares? If I make fun of Coca-Cola and you start defending the Coca-Cola brothers and Coca-Cola, you need to touch grass on a serious note. I think we've gone to the worst era of parasocial relationships where people are not glazing, they are sucking fictional characters' cocks that they have never met. in the gayest of ways, and they were making it their personality. I literally cringe at the idea of that. That you think that wouldn't happen, but go make fun of a very popular figure right now, and see where it gets you. Even make fun of Teslas, and people crash on. Dude, I mean, people literally trash on Ford all the time, and nobody bet. People trash on Ford all the time. No one bats an eye. But I make fun of Tesla. And society calls me gay. Like, moment. Like, it's insane. I don't think Teslas are even that good. They're depreciating in value. I think that there are better electric vehicles out there. I mean, I don't know. We've hit a real dark era of the internet. I've never seen anyone get heated about a car that they don't even know. They didn't even own a Tesla, by the way. Your website's changed my life, saying honestly. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. I think that it's. I mean, I don't think that there's not good people out there, but maybe it's the Ford people trying to change history or something. Yeah, probably. I don't know. It's just cringe. It's one thing to be like, Elon's a fucking retard, and someone being like, I don't really agree with that. I'm like, okay, cool. You don't have to. It's just an opinion. I don't know the guy. At the end of the day, I could just say someone's a retard throughout. I could just every day wake up and be like, the Queen of England was kind of retarded. Does it make it true? No. Does it hurt you? Does your world shatter and fall beneath you? Like if someone just doesn't like someone like buying an electric Mustang. The Mach-E is actually sick. Fuck you. the Mach-E is sick, and I'm gonna tell you why it's sick. Because it looks cool. But if you don't think it's cool, that's fair. But for $40,000, I think that's how much the Mach-E cost. There is some problems with it though. It's just a sick car. It looks actually sick. Like, I think it's like $40,000, maybe 50. 42,000. That's crazy cheap. I know a guy who jailbreaks Teslas and can give them a free supercharging. Yeah, that's cool. That's sick, actually. But the fact that people, I think now on the software side, Teslas have probably the best software everyone has told me that owns one and has owned other electric vehicles. Software side, I'm talking about the console. I'm not talking about the other bullshit that's problematic with it. And I'm not even allergic to the idea of electric vehicles. I think they're great. I think they have a place in society. I think that people just don't understand something called offsetting emissions. So yes, your Tesla, you charging uses gas somewhere, but it's at a fraction of the gas that it pulls for the electricity is less. They do this with wind turbines. I found out so wind turbines get installed. They have an offset emissions where they have an ROI of all the damage you just did to the earth and the ozone and whatever. All the damage you did is offsetted with the wind turbines being installed. Yes, it's damage, and I think they said 13 months or something. It's insanely low. But the point of going electric is two reasons, and I'm taking this from an independent thought, true independence. If you rely on gas, you generally need a gas company. If you rely on electricity, you need an electric company. You are at the mercy of them. There is no choice. Sorry. But guess who your utility provider can't fucking control? The sun. Most people on social media are such snowflakes. They're here to get triggered. Yeah, they do. I think people do get triggered on the internet more than I think people get triggered on the internet more for the wrong reason. Like I think the only thing that the internet blows up is overblown, that everything's woke. I think that's the gayest thing ever. Thinking everything's woke. Like, it's retarded. It's retarded to even think that. Or like Lunduke's diary, he said something really funny. He was like, Linus Torvald said he was a communist or something, and people were like, dude, you didn't actually give the full context of this. I'm like, that's the internet. There's no full context. It's everything's woke. If I don't like it, everything triggers me. Not everything needs to be for you. I mean, you're not going to understand everything. Like, I think a lot of this quote unquote people that do journalism, they just find things they don't like. Now, I think this is my personal take. I could be wrong. A lot of the time, they find things they don't like. They get butthurt. They write, "This company's woke," and they just give an opinion. They give really opinion pieces that are just not good. I mean, are there problematics in like the free and open source world? Sure. License, like we're gonna go back to me living like Richard Stallman for a week. A lot of Linux stuff is philosophy based. It's all philosophy. Software is a philosophy. How licensing done is a philosophy. Which license is permissive and which isn't. I don't agree with certain. I personally don't agree with certain licensing, but I don't work or own the company, so I don't fucking care. To that level, I think it's such a waste of energy to get mad about. Like, my favorite license is the MIT license because it was explained to me on how it was explained to me and how I view software licensing. It makes the most sense to me from a standpoint as a software ideology. I like MIT license. But that doesn't mean that everyone needs to do MIT license. That doesn't mean proprietary software needs to be eradicated, because you're taking away choice at the end of the day for companies to be able to profit and make it how they want. If you want to make proprietary software, that's fine. Whatever. I won't use it. I don't necessarily I don't like proprietary software, but I have choice out there. I guess that's the point that I'm making. Because if you start telling a company how they should run their business in terms of software, I'm like, how they want to make their money or whatever, their licensing, whatever. You kind of are dictating what they can and cannot do, and that's, that could be considered a problem. That'd be like going into McDonald's being like, you can't sell French fries because somebody out there is allergic to potatoes or something. Just because just don't eat their French fries. Like, go to a place that doesn't serve French fries. I don't know. Now, my more open, agorist, sovereign, libertarian, free software, fucking freedom, penis retard moment comes in is when I own the product. When I own the product and you vendor lock me. Like, if I buy a car, I should be able to put whatever the fuck I want in it. If I want to put, 6 engines in there, I should be able to put 6 engines in there. I don't like anti-right to repair, because that's not really dictating how the company should do business. That's dictating, in my opinion, how to make this consumer kind of more safe. I don't want to use the word safe because it's not the right word. I think selling something to somebody with no intentions of them being able to have any repairability is a problem. That's just, my view on that. Because software, we're at the point in software where we do have a lot of options where, like, I don't have to use Adobe. Adobe's garbage. I don't have to use LastPass. I don't have to use proprietary password. We have a lot of free. We have more free and open source software options than ever, but we don't have good repair laws, and we don't have good sections that help people have the ability to repair stuff outside of the manufacturer. That's my problem. I don't have licensing on code I write. I never done it. I use encrypted cloud share with private links to share my code. Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, technically, you can put a do whatever the fuck you want license with it. You could theoretically do whatever the fuck you want. Do whatever you want license with it. In actuality, is that going to be? Is that a good idea? No, probably not. Because then people could steal. So the only argument I see for licensing that I've seen that I kind of get is to prevent someone from stealing your work and making it malicious and releasing it. MIT still has some protection. And you could mitigate on your website, like, hey, be aware. Onion Share is pretty cool. So you could, I don't know, the license rabbit hole is, the GPL licensing rabbit hole is its own thing. Like, again, a lot of problems in the Linux and free software like community, a lot of the disagreements is always boiled down to philosophy and licensing. Like when Rust trademarked some stuff, people were like losing their shit. When Bitwarden did source available, people were losing their shit. But there's so much. It's like they have a right to because they own the code at the end of the day. And you can be mad. There's forks. There's VaultWarden. There's other self-hosted password manager options. There's Passbolt. Some of these companies, they want to make money. You know, that's their end goal. And if they put all of their time into making sure community editions and free software editions are maintained, they're losing time that they could be spending on their enterprise editions to make money. That's the reality of it. No one's going into Bitwarden or VaultWarden and fixing stuff for free for the community editions, the self-hosted versions on a regular basis where it's going to be maintained. Like, it's like, all right, we have someone that could do this for free. No one's going to do free work like that. That's a lot. So these companies try to make it where, like, hey, you can do this, but like, so Min.io recently dropped their community edition like in the last like 6 months to a year. They're like, you got to build it yourself. You got it. We took away some features, and I was pissed at first, and I am kind of pissed about it because I used Min.io a lot. But then I realized I was like, their asking price for their enterprise edition was fucking insane to me, and it's retarded. And I think that it was slightly out of touch. But at the end of the day, they have employees they got to pay. They got a business to run, so they have their reasoning, and they're like, here's our competitors that are like much better. Here's Garage. Garage is an S3 compatible bucket. There's Seaweed FS. There's Gluster FS. There's other options out there, and they even have detailed like ways how to go over there. And they say that you can still do all these things, but they kind of have their own reasoning, and they explain it. And I was like, all right, it's fair. At the end of the day, they said it takes resources to maintain this. It doesn't matter if it's a small amount of resource. They need to focus on where the money's at. And they're a company at the end of the day. That's fair. They got to make their money. The only time I get angry is when, like, companies make it's like, you can't fix it yourself. Like, why not? Who cares? Fuck you and your warranty. Or they make it difficult. They make it difficult to do it. Like they put in practices that make it hard. to maintain it. You know, to fix it or etc. Imagine if like cars did that. Like they're like, no, you have this proprietary bolt on your wheel you can't take off to do your brakes. Pop! OS kind of FOSS development is my favorite kind. They sell hardware and promote it. Their hardware with their enterprise grade FOSS development. Yeah, I just think their keyboard's overpriced. I think any keyboard over $50 is God. I mean like $300. Is pretty insane. But again, it comes down to a philosophy standpoint. Whoa, Hackers SS7 server for sale. I forgot about this. Modular rat stealer. Hack your website or target now. Web service attack. I love these. I truly do. They're really funny. But I digress. Looking for casino records. Legit money washing exchange service, escrow. Free testing. Come shop RDP. These are always funny. Art, text, spin, link. Cellar door, aka blogger linkage. Welcome to the cellar door. What the fuck? Bro, who buys malware off the internet? How can they trust? They don't. No one's buying that. If you're buying that, you're retarded. Yo, Eepsite. Open NIC. What's Open NIC? OpenIC is a user-owned and controlled top-level network information center that offers non-national alternatives to domain registry. Okay. All peers existing ICANN for compatibility reasons. Wow. Potential security risk. An open and democratic alternative DNS route is concerned about censorship that might... Whoa! DNS neutrality. No corporation be able to say websites are or aren't available to us. By using our volunteer-provided DNS servers, you no longer have to question your ISP's motives. You can rest assured that your connection to the internet is not being censored by your DNS server. No cost. We are a nonprofit organization and do not charge money for access to our DNS servers, including the proposed request of new TLDs. Free to use and completely operated by volunteers, so there's no financial pressure to corrupt our organizations. New volunteers welcome. Stop DNS hijacking. Have you ever had typed in the wrong URL? Peered networks. We are partnered with many different alternative DNS routes to give you access to multitude of different namespaces. All the same. FurNIC provided resolution to any .fur domain. New Nations. New Nations TLD provides namespace for emerging countries accessible anywhere else to see them. Irmercoin. We partner with Irmercoin to bring access to LibCoin. Lib. Oh, they accept ETH and Bitcoin. Boo. Projects. Interesting. BBS. Chan. I need a .pirate site, guys. Not an FBI honeypot .pirate, where it's just pictures of feet. Ooh. That's interesting. Okay. InfoCham. Grimston started as a simple NeoCities website and has since graduated to being self-hosted identity. For a fine example of what NeoCities was designed to help people start websites, undergone redesigns all the time. Fred Furner. InfoChan is a wonderful parody of what happens to if public broadcasting existed in the future. A creation of Dave Forrest info channel servers, a satire both mainstream. Oh wow, we need to check this out. Actually, this seems kind of based. Oh wait, don't wanna. No darknet option. Over 1 million colors. This is awesome. Wow. Celebrities 2022, 2023. A modern breakthrough human communication. InfoChannel combines the best aspects of HD television, the internet, and the state-of-the-art techno-phosis to give the viewer a brand new experience. Hyperlearning. Huh. InfoChannel hit. It's that time to wake up again. This is awesome. Me at my job. Power Screen. Our exciting new program allows subscribers to get their own info on TV with our Power Screen offering. Be part of the next wave of technology and human spirit. Power Screen today with the Power Screen prices starting low as $5 for any HDTV on air to run up for 11,000 years. How can you not go Power Screen? That's true. You should go Power Screen. Ooh. What are we? That's how many subscribers I can get? Wow. That's actually kind of base, guys. Is it dumb to use a non-surf with Tor browsers, Tor connection? Yeah, you should never do that because I forget the double. This is what Revno or whatever. This is why they were saying don't use Tor, there was a certain have no recommended not doing it in Tails because it creates a Tor function called double Tor or something, and it was a security issue. Can enhance privacy by adding an extra layer of anonymity, but it must lead to performance issues and does not completely eliminate risks. Certain attacks like traffic correlation, because it's saying it can fucking double Tor. I remember seeing an issue with doing double Tor, and it was not good. Mine is that it'll be super slow. Using two different instances of Tor can introduce privacy risks and may attract attention from surveillance authorities and complicate your connection, potentially exposing your real IP address. It's generally recommended to use your Tor or a VPN, but not both simultaneously. No, this is... This is actually incorrect. There was a reason you shouldn't run Tor twice or something, and I can't remember what it. I can't remember what it was. But if somebody could find the reason why and link it below, that'd be great. But I remember Havno or RetroSwap talking about this, saying running Tor within Tor causes some security privacy issue. Minus that it'll be really fucking slow too. So I wouldn't do it. But the whole using VPN and Tor together cannot backfire on your privacy. This is outdated. When was this article written? Because if it was recent, then... Worst websites. This is 2025? Yeah. Although Tor and VPNs both serve to protect privacy, they're fundamentally different the ways they work. Tor encrypts your data multiple times and forwards it to 3 independent servers worldwide, and it separates the user's identity from their traffic path, helping to protect against tracking. Tor also creates new connections every 10 minutes to make it considerably more difficult to permanently locate traffic. The thing is, Tor chooses this, so it's technically not as decentralized as everyone makes it out to be. That's the problem. This is what I2P solves. I morphed Kick Secure with Parrot Debian connection script. It is freaking awesome. But Debian, though. Tor also creates new connection every 10 minutes via blah blah blah. Protects your traffic through a single tunnel via provider server that hides your IP address, but is able to know to your identity. Why using a VPN and Tor together can put your anonymity at risk. Many users hope to achieve the double security by combining VPN and Tors, but this approach actually introduces new risks. The VPN provider can see your original IP address and knows you're connecting to Tor. If the provider keeps logs or consumes under pressure identity, the risk is especially significant when VPNs store personal data like email address or payment of information. This is why you use Mullvad. Also, using a VPN and Tor together can actually make you less safe. VPN servers are often targeted by hackers, and even if the VPN is an open source, you might have junk trackers or hidden backdoors that can put... Yeah, of course. I mean, that's like anything. Wow. He has an AMD shirt on. I don't trust him. Why VPN over Tor and Tor over VPN can undermine your privacy? VPN over Tor and Tor over VPN are different setups. Both have with risk. VPN over Tor is complex and weakens Tor's privacy. Tor over VPN means trusting the VPN. It's usually better just to use one Tor VPN, not both. VPN connections to the Tor network are more conspicuous. It's not true. Connections from a VPN server to the Tor network will stand out from regular internet traffic, drawing close attention. If you pay for the VPN anonymously, then you're fine. It doesn't matter. It's just slow. They could have... This article is so bad, they could have just made it said it's slow and retarded. So let's say that... Let's say your VPN provider is logging your IP address. Okay, whatever. Get it? Like, because new connections happen every 10 minutes... Tor, the exit relay only knows the guard relay, and the guard relay only knows... I mean, you would have to dig a lot. It wouldn't even be worth it. And then they find out the VPN logged your IP address. Okay. You can just use a public... When you're doing this, you can just use public IP address away from your house. I mean, it's going to be so slow you would want to kill yourself. I couldn't make the other way around work, meaning morphing Parrot into Kick Secure. Somehow Tor didn't work on the way. Oh no, just Debian ew. I love it. I'm a big time Debian enjoyer. Boop. Hold on. Remember, guys, my opinion outweighs everyone else's. It's all about me. Me when someone mentions Debian. Okay, back to info channel. I also enjoy Zypper on Debian via containers. That isn't that OpenSUSE? That's OpenSUSE's OpenSUSE. That's OpenSUSE's package manager, right? Private access for public service. Public access television has become a thing of the past. It's now up to private television and digital networks to give public the information and voice they so desire. There's only one HDTV channel that meets these requirements in the age of exploding info awareness. That's Info Channel. The feature of information you're looking at. When internet and television leave off, channel.net and Info Channel HD take technology, human communications to the next level with minimalist text screen and silent embedded with HC2K technology. This sounds real. You could you could definitely fucking trick a boomer. Dude, if you put this in front of a boomer, they would fucking be going bonkers. Their tits would be hard. They would be like, this is real. Chat, is this real? They'd be going to their grandkids and being like, look at what I found. Info channel. Private access to public service. Oh my god. If I ever become this retarded and think this is real, please somebody take me out back and end it. 4 cats only though? Okay, I'm interested. It's not real, guys? No. Over 1 million colors. 25 hours a day? Competing I need to show this to like old people and see if they think it's real. "12 continents." Draw your HDTV live. Click here. Donate to public service industry. Subscribe to information. Name, age, email, address. That's a lot. Please enter 2 digits. Verification. Example 12. Wow. Currently, our main live 24-hour scheduled program feed is only available on the Roku TV set box. This is running in repeat on my TV forever. More info. Guys, I think I found my new affiliate. Do you want Info Channel site at your establishment? Let us find a way to make that happen. Contact Davey Forrest, CEO at daveyforrest@infochannel.com or affiliate. Oh, nice. Good times. I need this. Jillian Mayer. Jill Mayer is the goddess of the internet and a great artist residing in Miami, Florida, USA, with Venmo and YouTube films such as Post Mode and Mock Futurism. Her current project, Slumpies, deals with tracking the discomforting effects of excessively cell phone usage. She's a magical artist and someone who looked up with the landscape. We looked up within the landscape of the net. The title is purposely overexposed, as she does not have a website logo per se, and I will think. Oh, okay. Art is made up. Man, that is a really overexposed website. JWZ.org is the blog of Jasmine Zilazowski, a programmer, club owner in California, and blogger. Some of the things this man finds simply blow our minds. We enjoy reading. When you said club owner, I was like immediately like, this man has definitely done some illegal stuff. Sometimes I hate people once I find out they're from California. It explains everything, and I there's a reason I hate them. Impersonates Mad Web 1.x skills. We've never met the man, but perhaps we should make a trip to his place sometime. A truly amazing mind to behold. We have never met him personally or talked to him directly online, but his blog is one of the inspired for leaving the Web 2.0 and embracing a blog that we have today. We're not sure if Jamie will ever read this, but if you're out there, thank you. You're awesome. Inspiration to me. Yeah, I think minimalist websites are kind of awesome. Lavendersoap.net. With the university, because I guess one of the best friends we had. No, go back. Whoa. An observer of everything around me has led to the understanding that move forward sometimes you reflect, blah, 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 blah. What the? Hello. There's a balance of safe for work and not safe for work. Hi, I'm Alex Lavender, aka Lavender Soap. I'm primarily a digital furry artist. Oh my god, it's always the furry artist, man. What's up with the internet pipeline to furries? And web developers. May Van Day is the personal blog where we learn about when we try to spread the word about Tor. Her blogs make us think about May Devine. Employee recognizes the information is unique. Interesting. What's up with the furry shit? I don't know, man. I gotta run. See ya. Thanks for the awesome stream as always. Appreciate code. See you later. Maven Day. Isn't this person that did I thought this was the person that did Flat Kill or the political zealous in America, Peace Code, autism, artificial intelligence, the big list of women who did things. Oh god, I already hate this format. Let's decentralize. Sure. Tor, I2P. LokiNet is... I'm going to go through all this. I think I've been on this person's blog before, but I don't remember why. So Tor is more centralized because they have a lot of control over it. I2P, I feel like, is more decentralized. LokiNet is dog shit. Never used it. We, the webmasters, are not going to host a mirror of this site on the LokiNet or keep a list of known sites maintained until the developers get their shit together and fix the source code so they can be piled on FreeBSD based without any fatal make errors. If one cannot compile from source, then the binaries provided might as well be proprietary. True! YG Drill is an early-stage implementation of fully end-to-end encrypted IPv6 network. Boo! It is a lightweighted, self-arranging, supported on multiple platforms, and allows pretty much any IPv6 capable application to communicate securely with other nodes. Does not require you to have IPv6 internet connectivity. It also works over IPv4. I've heard bad things about... the things I've heard about IPv6 is that if it's not done correctly, it is just a nightmare. There's a lot of problems with it. And ultimately, unfortunately, could be considered an identifier because IPv6 is less use in the ecospace. So there could be some privacy risks for it in general. The Reticulum is a cryptographically based networking stack for building local and wide area networks. I have used this, really awesome. The person who made this, really cool, really awesome. Very based, actually. In adverse conditions with very high latency and extremely low bandwidth. It can connect peers over anything from traditional TCP networks to dark nets like Escrow and I2P to exotic networks interfaces like LoRa and packet radio. All packets are encrypted. Unencrypted packets are forcibly dropped from the network. This is good from like a privacy standpoint. You can't currently directly host web pages over the Reckoning network, but a tool for both chat and hosting pages already exists called the NomadNet, which is based. Set up NomadNet, find a nomadic sites, peer-to-peer. ZeroNet is, in my opinion, not a good website to go to. I would avoid it for a lot of reasons. It is a decentralized web-like network of peer-to-peers. ZeroNet is basically a BitTorrent for websites, where it's instead of domains, websites are identified using a Bitcoin public key, although ZeroNet supports a few ways to like linking a public key to ZeroNet specific domain. Unlike traditional BitTorrent, however, ZeroNet sites can be updated after they have been originally published while running in the same key appears. It's supposed to be low latency, almost like very low internet connection bandwidth. It's kind of cool, but the development in the official repository seems to have halted completely. The main developers have went AWOL. Almost all attempted to connect have failed. They have seen either also slowed or stopped, or developed by individuals who do not consider trustworthy enough to keep such a high risk of applications of zero secure. If you must run ZeroNet, run it in a virtual machine, preferably also the VPN isolated network. Yeah, I would not trust it. I've been on it before. Not a good website, by the way. A lot of really illegal websites are on there. I would not go on there. It is kind of I wouldn't trust my eyes on there. It'd be unfortunate to have eyes if you went on there. I'll just put it that way. Lots of bullshit. IPF is a pretty basic protocol and a peer-to-peer network for storing and sharing data distributed via file system. IPF uses the contact addressing uniquely identified each, find in global namespace connecting all computers' devices. Pretty basic. Similar to BitTorrent, IPFS allows its users to both receive and data from other users who are hosting the files to share their data. While IPFS hashes themselves are immutable, meaning they cannot be changed or once published, IPF supports a system called IPNS, where the hash can be of a peer themselves instead of the file, enabling mutable, rewritable files. Ultimate websites, yeah, it's kind of interesting. The Hyphenet is a peer-to-peer platform. It's kind of free net. We know what it is. It uses decentralized and distributed data store to keep and deliver information, and has a suite of free software publishing and community on the web without fear of censorship. Kind of cool. It's still got a long way to go. And then Hyperdrive is a secure real-time distributed file system designed for easy peer-to-peer file sharing. Hyperdrive is the successor to the DAT protocol. I remember this. You can deploy static web pages, which can be viewed in a browser that supports Hyper, such as Beaker NG and the Agora. The main implementation is unfortunately written in Node.js. Boo! I need to check that out. Protocols, Gopher. I really wish Gopher made it. Gopher should have made it, guys. Web Bringings is an algorithm-free way of discovering new websites. I need to bookmark this page because it's. I remember it. On how cool it was. I always forget to bookmark the cool pages. Poetry, fiction, announcement box. Can you post the link in the Discord, please? Yeah. The only problem is, hopefully it goes. No, it should. It should stick. If it doesn't, let me know and I'll do it later. Because YouTube's allergic. YouTube and Restream are allergic to our links. Hey, look, it's me sideloading Firesite. Yeah, it's a very sick site. But I remember coming across this site at some point. Total Women Victory Volume 1. Book Rex by... Look, guys. I'm a performative male. And a feminist. October 19th, 2025. I do need to test out the new Graphene OS update. I don't know if I've gotten it yet because it could have happened overnight. In my system, I'm on alpha. We're going to try that again. No, I'm being DDoSed. It's a funny site. Files, Catbox, Mo. MP4. Why is it MP4? I would love to figure out how to do some. See, I like decentralized networks. I really do. I think they're very interesting. Because you will find people on there, and they'll be kind of crazy. Maybe it's not. I'll be right back. Interesting. Okay. The blog list of women, identity, contact, my PGP. What's the essential idea and for sure. Poetry just seems kind of gay. See this. Let's check out some services. Oh, Squirrel Mail? That Squirrel Mail was like FOSS approved. I've seen this. This looks like an actual federal honeypot, to be completely honest. Welcome to the Darknet Mail Exchange. Darknet Mail Exchange, or Darknet Mail Exchange, is a darknet email provider that allows anyone to create email accounts anonymously and receive is Squirrel Mail good? I've never used it. I'm just aware of it. It's been around for a long time, I think. Like a really long time. I think anyone can run it on yeah, 14 years. That's a long time. I think you can do it without the web publishing project was started in 1999, so it's been longer than 14 years. GPL2 license. Plugins. I think it doesn't use JavaScript, and I think that's why. Creating a mail server using yeah, and I think you can make your own. I'm not entirely sure beyond that. I thought about running my own mail server for this project, like for like a week. Just finding a cheap VPS that accepts Monero and setting it up just to see how I like it. It just doesn't seem interesting to me. I hate email. I only like the email provider I got is because it respects my privacy to a certain degree. Freedom of speech, fully encrypted, hidden service, fair be. I just don't know. Mail is free to use email services like Gmail. We don't care who you are, and we'll never ask for information review. Yeah, like, why are you doing this for free? It's kind of sus. It's a lot of users, in my opinion, and you're doing it for free. I mean, they probably have a pricing guide for like over a notice of domain change from SU to CC. China bought it, guys. And the problem with running your own email service is, first off, you got to trust the person who's running the hardware. You got to trust them, A, that they're not going to hijack your email. B, a lot of email providers will not accept your email. They'll drop it, think it's spam. So you have to do some extra steps to make sure that everyone can accept your email and whitelist it. Like, I can't just go buy a fresh domain and expect it to work. And Tuda doesn't have a command line client yet. I wish it did. I think there's a reason. There's a reason that you don't do IMAP support. There's a reason. I think it's because of the way I've done it. Oh. Tudano is fully encrypted email service that does not support IMAP and POP. Typical email protocols usually allow people to download their emails locally to a desktop, client, or mobile app. Tuda cannot support these protocols due to the built-in end-to-end encryption. Now, offline allows you to cache your emails, calendars, and contacts locally. Offline mode replaces the need for IMAP or POP, and on top of that, Tuda's system is much more prominent in these protocols. Supporting IPAP is not an option for Tutanota, as it would undermine our built-in encryption. And as an encrypted email service that promise always to keep your data secure, we simply cannot. I think that's what it was. Technically, supporting IMAP for us would only be possible if the emails were downloaded to your computer and stored there, not encrypted. However, at Tutanota, we promise that your data is always ended encrypted, also on your own devices. So instead of supporting an insecure feature, we're focused on improving our open source desktop client. Yeah, I think that was their reasoning. I knew it was something like to do with the way that, like, they really rebuilt the email itself. They made it they kind of like went a step above and were like, we're not going to build traditional email, we're going to make it better. What data is not available offline? Emails that have not even cached, obviously. You know what I miss? Google Cache, like being able to cache websites and have them sit locally. I like this one website called Local First. It shows you like websites that support local. The only thing that this company needs is to work on a drive. Just, that's it. Be kind of based. But that's why, essentially, I think you can't do the command line. It would be nice. But yeah, running your own email is kind of its own nightmare. All right, guys, now that you're getting an hour and 46 minutes of my day, I will see you in the next one. Remember to argue in the comments for the algorithm so YouTube stays relevant. And most importantly, to wash your eyeballs and your socks at the same time in a bathtub. I'll see you later.